we are going to read you Jack and the Beanstalk.
Okay, Batman, are you going to start?
I will. Once upon a time, in the age of magic, there was a boy called Jack. He lived with his mother in a little house on their farm. They were very poor, and the only possession they had left was Daisy the cow.
Moo.
Daisy was a very nice cow, but very old, and was the only real friend that Jack had. But one day, Jack's mother decided he must take Daisy to the market and sell her, or else they would starve.
Oh, how sad, Batman.
How sad
How
indeed.
sad.
At least he hasn't gone down to stealing.
Stealing, that's bad. Batman's having trouble.
I cannot turn the page.
The next morning, Jack set off with Daisy to walk to the market. His mother waved them goodbye. "Make sure you get a good price," she said. Jack was so sad selling Daisy, so he walked very slowly, hoping to be late for the market. After a while, they met an old man. He looked very odd. He was bent almost double and wore strange clothes, all coloured in green, Batman. "Good morning, boy," said the old man. "What a fine cow. Where are you taking her?" "I must take her to the market and sell her, for we are very poor," said Jack with a sigh. "I never saw such a splendid animal," said the old man. "I should like to buy her myself." And with that, he took out 5 beans from his purse. Jack had hoped for some gold coins. "I couldn't sell Daisy for beans," he said. "Ah," said the old man, "but these are magic beans. Plant them in your garden by moonlight and you will see."
So here we have Jack and Daisy the
Daisy.
cow and the old man wearing green.
I'll turn the pages for you, Batman.
I'd appreciate it. When Jack got home, his mother called him a fool. It was worse than she had feared. She said, now they really would starve. But Jack believed the old man, and that night, under a full moon, he planted the 5 beans. His mother woke him early. "Now look what you've done," she cried. Jack hopped out of bed and into the garden. Those beans really had been magic. Where he had planted them, there now stood an enormous beanstalk. It stretched up into the sky and beyond the clouds.
That's a big beanstalk, Batman.
I wouldn't want that in my garden.
No. Alfred wouldn't either,
No,
because he's the one that would have to cut it.
sadly.
However, I would. I could climb.
Yes, turn the page, please.
Sorry. Jack saw once a chance for adventure, and perhaps even fortune. Straight away, he began to climb. Up and up he went, higher and higher, Batman, until he found himself above the clouds, in a different world. Ahead of him stretched a long, twisty road, and at the end of the road stood a huge castle. See, Jack's climbing the beanstalk.
Doesn't have claws like you, Catwoman.
No.
Jack walked up to the castle and climbed the steep steps to the door. "Whoever lives here must be a giant," said Jack. He slipped into the castle through a crack in the door and came into a vast room with a fire blazing. By the table was a wooden cage, and in the cage Jack could see a fat white goose tied by a rope.
Poor goose, Batman. What's going to happen?
We'll find out. "Honk, help me escape from here," said the goose, "and you will never be poor again, for I am a magic goose." Now Jack had a good reason to believe the magic. The old man had been right about the beans after all. "All right," said Jack, "I'll have you out of there in no time." But as he started to pull on the bars, there came a sound like thunder. Boom, boom, boom. And with it, a low voice and loud. Help me turn the page.
Quick, Batman, what's going to happen?
"Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread."
Quick, said the goose. It's the giant. Hide! So Jack climbed onto the table and hid behind a huge egg cup. The door crashed open and in walked the giant. He sat at the table, banged down with his fist and laughed. "Ho, ho, ho! Where is my lovely goosey-goosey?" The giant picked up the cage and the goose. He pulled open the door, sat the poor goose down in the middle of the table and boomed out, "Lay, goose, lay." The goose let out and said, "Honk," and laid an egg. The giant picked up the egg and laughed again, "Ho, ho, ho," and then carefully put the egg in the egg cup. It was an egg of solid gold. Jack stared. It really was a magic goose. "Lay, goose, lay," said the giant again, and again the goose laid a golden egg. And so on until it had laid 6 eggs in all. Jack